Hey folks, I'm your host Sandeep. Welcome to Crack Computers. Today we're gonna discuss about variable, constant, and keywords in C language. So first of all, let's discuss about variables. And before that, as you can see here, we have written a code. And as you can see in this code that I have written something like int x equal to 7, int z equal to 8, int sum float y char a equal to x, and I have written sum. So this x, z, sum, y, and this a, these all are actually variable, guys. So these all are variables, and this 7, this value, this is a constant value, and you are actually doing this 7 value, storing it in this x variable. So what is this variable is? This variable is nothing but a space in your memory, and you are naming it, you are just calling it x. So if you think like let me guys just show you by drawing something. So in this paint, if I just like draw, if I suppose think this is your RAM stick, okay, and these are like memory blocks, some memory blocks, okay guys. And I'm sorry, this crappy painting, but just assume for this session that this is your RAM stick, this is your computer memory. Actually, don't like confuse about memory means hard disk. No, hard disk not the memory. The memory you're talking about here is the RAM, where you're gonna work, where the computer, the CPU works on. So if you just like hold this and think about this like 7, so like you put 7 in this block, and you put 8 in this block, 8, okay guys. So as you can see, this is the memory, and you put 7 and 8 in these blocks, you put the values in this memory. But how the computer gonna know that when you're gonna like need these values to do some calculation that you're gonna do? Like programming is all about calculation, so we need these values to fetch those values. So how do we gonna fetch those values? We have to give them something name, like everybody has a name. That's how they call, that's how people call you or someone, like whatever, like so we're gonna give it some name. So like let's just name this block x and name this block y. That's, sorry guys, we name this z. So that's what actually variables are. This x and this z, these are actually variables. These are nothing but this memory space, we are naming it. That's what variables is. So if like, what is variable? Variable is nothing but the name for the space we are occupying in the memory. Okay guys, so that's all for the variables part. Now we're going to discuss about constant, right? The constant basically are this 7, 8, 8.9, x. These are actually constants, and in this C there are basically two types of constant. One is primary constant and other secondary constant. So if someone is there like listening to me who has little bit knowledge about data types, this is might be the thing you must be thinking. This 7, it is a constant. What type of constant it is? It is integer type of constant, right? This is a whole number, right? This is not a decimal point number, but this is a decimal point number, and we're gonna call this decimal point numbers actually float numbers. And another type of constant is a character type of constant, right? And that's all. And I'm gonna show you a picture, or I'm gonna describe the different types actually. So just hold on. So this is the diagram for like C constants. As you can see, C constants, there is C constant, and we can divide it in two parts: primary constants and secondary constants. And there are only 3 primary constants: integer constants, real constant, and character constant. Okay guys, and there another types are secondary constant. We are basically array, pointer, structure, union, etc. And these secondary constant are actually made by this primary constant. Okay guys, so this secondary constant we're gonna discuss one by one in different videos in later future. So guys, how much space they actually acquire, right? Like for integer, it is actually acquired 2 byte space, 2 byte space in a memory, 2 or maybe 4 byte. It actually, it is a, like, you must be thinking 2 or 4, how this is possible? So this is actually possible because of the type of compiler and where this program actually are running, like 32-bit machine or 64-bit machine. Actually today's nowadays is this dev c, these are actually the integer value actually occur is 4 byte, but if you running turbo c, this will only hold 2 bytes of space for integer value, and for floating type value this will occur 4 bytes space. Okay guys, and for character it is hold only 1 byte of space, right? And we're gonna see how much, like, the range, how much data you can store, like as an integer how much you can store, as a float how much you can store, and as a character you can store. So just to hold on, I'm going to show you the values. So this is the value you can store for integer, like this negative this value to this positive this value. Okay, and you must be thinking, if you have little bit idea about c, you must be thinking this is the actual value, what is this crap? This is not crap actually. This is the value in turbo c you can maximum store. As I said previously, if it hold only 2 bytes, the maximum value you can store is negative 32,768 to like positive 32,767, right? But today's there are like 64-bit 32-bit machines which are actually can store more than this, like this actual value is this is can store in this dev c. This is the maximum integer value you can put. This actually means that if you write int 21474836647, if you write this, actually I'm writing wrong. If you like take a variable like integer x and you put this value, okay guys, so that's okay. But if you write this is going to be an error, because the maximum value is 47, as you can see. So it cannot store that value in your RAM and it's gonna throw a error. So make sure that, okay guys. And if you are using turbo c, then you cannot store this much, you just only can store 32,767. If you write 68 as a, you can, if you put that value in a variable and which is an integer type, then there is going to be a very problem in your code. Make sure to check that out. Okay guys, and the next thing we're gonna write is the maximum value the float can store. So the maximum value floats can store is this much. This is exponential, means this is to the power 38, right? 10 to the 38 exponential. So this is the value the float can store, negative 3.4 e38 to positive 3.4 e38, sorry. And this 30 e, you must think what is e. E is basically 10 to the power 38. Now think the value how much it can store. It is really enormous value, so make sure that. And the last thing we're gonna see, just remember these things, this is actually helpful. Okay guys, and next thing we're gonna see is the character, how much character can store. So this is the value character can store. You must, now you're thinking we are talking about characters, right? Like a b c, what is this? 128 127 0 to 55, what is this? So now I'm gonna talk about something called ASCII codes. Okay guys, so I'm gonna show you ASCII code, right? Okay, just hold on a second. So I'm gonna show you a ASCII code table. So this is the ASCII code table. If you can see, I'm just gonna zoom out. Hold on a second. Now I hope you can see. So if you see this, there is the, like, tell me, say this. Here is a hexadecimal value a, and it's like this is decimal value 10, hexadecimal value a, octal value. You know this guys, I hope you guys know these things. These are types of, like, decimal types of variables, and hexadecimal, octal, and there is binary also, but it is not shown here. Okay guys, so if you can see character, you can see there is character also. So this is character. So a, you can see the character a, it is as a decimal value for character a is 65, and hexadecimal is 41, and octal is 11. So as you can see, the computer doesn't know about a, b, c, they don't know about character. So what it does is we're gonna convert those characters into numbers, right, and those numbers into binary numbers, and those are actually stored in your computer. Okay guys, so this negative 128 to positive 127, or 0 to 255, actually total number is 256 number of character the computer can store in C language actually. Okay guys, so that's all for characters, and that's all for constant we just learned today. Now there are keywords, right? So I'm gonna show you keywords, what are keywords are. So you guys just hold on a second, I'm gonna show you the keywords. Okay guys, so these are keywords. There are only 32 keywords, and these keywords are actually, you cannot use them as a variable. I haven't told you guys in the variable section, I should have told this, but when you write a variable like x equal to 7, we're giving the name to that, as you talked previously when we talk about variables, that variables are nothing but a name for the space in a memory. So when you putting that name, you cannot use this like auto. You cannot name a variable like auto equal to like 25. You cannot use, that's gonna be an error for the code. Okay guys, and these are 32, this is 32 keywords for C. If you can remember this, these are good for you. Actually you're gonna use this, so somehow you're gonna remember those, like float, sort, okay, for, if, do. These are all keywords you're gonna use. That's all for the keyword section. Now we're gonna write a code, and I'm gonna discuss about variables. Okay, so this code is basically gonna calculate the simple interest for you. Okay guys, so this is not anymore a hello program, this is a simple interest code just for the fun. Now I'm gonna write the code. So what we need for simple interest, nothing but the prime value. Okay, the P, let's take 1000 rupees, and the rate of increment is like 2.4. okay guys, and the year is going to be 3 years. Okay guys, so now I'm gonna let me just write this formula. Simple interest. Okay guys, so I hope you can see there is a bit problem, as I haven't given another slash, and I'm gonna make this as a comment. So now it's fine, and the formula is, now we need to, like, there is an error, like I hope you guys can see the error is I haven't declared this, like this variable p, the variable r, and the variable n. I haven't declared them, right? What are those types? The computer doesn't know that. Okay guys, so I need to declare them. So just for this session, I'm gonna tell you that the computer cannot calculate or compute values like two different types of constant. Like if p is an integer, I take p is an integer and r is a float. There, if I just like calculate those, multiply, add, or subtract, whatever I do, the computer is, there is going to be error value, like logical error value the computer will calculate, but the value not be like the as we expected. So for that we need typecasting, and I'm gonna talk about typecasting in later videos. For today's videos, let's just assume all are float values. Okay guys, and we also need a result. Let's take this result. Okay guys, and the formula is, as we know, is we multiply by n by 100. That's all, and we're gonna print that value. This is something I haven't talked about, and I think I should talk about right now. If you can see this, what you must be thinking, what is this percent f thing? I hope you know the slash n. I have talked about it in previous videos. So what is this percent f, right? As you can see, if I just hold this cursor, it is saying constant character something. Okay, so this is actually saying that your compiler, that the value it's gonna print is going to be a float type. Okay guys, that's what it's telling. Actually this percent f actually declaring that the value, the res value, it is going to print on the screen, it is going to be a float type. If and there are different type of this, like for integer there is like printf. This is for integer. I'm gonna actually talk about this in data type video. We're gonna make another video for data types basically. So this percent d actually declares integer, this percent f actually declare the float, and there is another one, and that is for the character type, and that is percent %c. Okay guys, this is going to be error, as computer cannot convert this value to character. So I'm gonna like comment out this line. Okay guys, and this is also now just save this and run, execute, compile and run, and you can see the value is 72. Okay guys, this is the interest you're gonna pay just for the fun part, huh? So for the part I'm gonna discuss the variable, how we gonna name this variable, right? prn, there are some rules you need to follow. Like you cannot name this variable like 8p or like plus, you can't do that. Okay guys, there are rules, like you cannot name variables. You have to, there just only two rules you can name a variables. First one is that the variable name is have to be like something to understand for the code you are writing for someone else, or like for someone, like for yourself. You have to read that code, right? So make sure that variable names are readable, like understandable also. And don't use keywords as variables. You cannot like int that, you cannot do that. You cannot do, also do is also a keyword. And you cannot put any numbers as a variable. You have to always like character first. And you can, the only special character you can use is underscore, like g underscore h. This can be a variable name. There is going to be no error. Like I can show you, you can see there is no error. Okay guys, but if you like put this like 7 underscore j, and we're gonna compile, I hope there is error. You can see there is an error. It says invalid suffix to integer constant. I hope you can see here, you can see invalid suffix. Okay, so that's you cannot do. And there you can't use this also, but you can use this can be possible. I can show you this. Okay, that is something else kind of error, like we have changed the variable name, so it is finding the variable name, so it is actually fine. Okay guys, like I can show you. And we're gonna run this. Here it is. So it is running. So you can use underscore and name for a variable. You can use like, yes, you can use like first character and then number. You can use R5. It is a valid one, like you can show you. Okay guys, let's change this one also. Execute, compile and run. Yes, it is running. Okay, so it is also possible. So first character and then number, it is possible. Underscore and character, it is also possible, but before number and then character as a variable name, it is not possible, guys. Remember this. That's all I think for today's videos, and thank you guys. Make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.